I'm going to take you on a walk here around my campus in Dehong, Yunnan, China. As always, I'm kind of surrounded by flower blossoms on all sides. This is about 2 in the afternoon in the middle of winter. So the sun is bright, but it's actually not cold out here. I'm not cold, but it is so bright, the sun, that I can't see anything on the camera's display. So I'm really filming blind here with the sun shining down at me. So that's one of the most peculiar features of the university. Oh, beautiful little butterfly going past. Don't know if you caught that. One of the most peculiar features of this university, several students complained to me that they were expecting a lake. On the brochures, when they signed up for this particular college, there were illustrations showing a lake next to this very impressive dam. You can see they know how to build waterworks around here. But the long-term plan is to reroute the city's main river to flow past the university. So I'm guessing at that time, the area behind that dam will fill up, and we'll have a lake of some kind. So again, I can't really see what I'm filming here. I'm just going to pause. You should be able to see on the horizon there. So I can try to zoom in, but I'm really blinded by the sun. You should be able to see the outline of the Golden Tower. We walked down the steps in an earlier video. There's actually both the Golden Tower and the Silver Tower are beautiful little silhouettes to my eyes here. But as I say, I'm blinded by the sun, so I don't know what I'm filming. Anyway, so this is far on the outskirts of town, this university campus. We've got... Anyway, this is a brand new campus. It's just been built, so all the trees are still young. You can imagine in just a few years there'll be a lot more shade provided by these trees. And I assume some of these flower beds will fill in too. There are mountains in the distance there if you're looking on the horizon. I'm not really showing you the core of the campus, partly because that's the busier part of the campus, partly because this is the walk I'm happening to take today. But back there, sort of behind me, you can see some big buildings. That's the main library building on the left, music and performing arts building. We're coming down here a little bit closer to the empty patch of ground that would be a lake. So at the end of this walk I'm going to take you on, there's actually a scale model of what the finished university will look like. When the construction is complete, this university will have a gym, which it currently doesn't. Sort of one of the things that really impacts my life, a gym at the bottom of a sort of grand staircase that you're not going to get to see. I used to get my workout while I was here teaching by running up and down the stairs in between my classes. So my classes normally have just a 10-minute break between periods. Oh, there's an airplane going overhead, going to Dehong's tiny airport, the one airport that serves both Mangshi and Rili. Rili is the next major town down the road. Rili's right in the Burmese border. Anyway, there is currently no gym on campus. There are basketball courts and a few other basic sports facilities like that, areas where the students play sports, that you don't get to see on this particular walk. You should get to see the view of the mountains. Well, the thing is, we've got kind of bamboo forest filling in the horizon here, so I'm not sure how much of the view you're going to get through the bamboo thicket. But in any case, I used to run out during my 10-minute break, go down the staircase, and go back up again. Sometimes doing that twice. 10 minutes wasn't that much time. Then to get back to class and start lecturing. But I could do that something like 4 times during a workday, and thus add quite a lot to total amount of exercise I was getting. Okay, so this is filming a couple hours later. This is after I've just finished my fourth of 4 classes, I suppose, but I counted. I'm in the midway point of these steps. We got a whole lot of students coming up the stairs. In the distance there, you can see the mountains, you can see the farmer's field, you can see the sports field. So I guess these guys are coming up the steps after just having played, I don't know, basketball. I'm almost at the bottom of the stairs here, looking up the great staircase. This will be the main entrance to the university when they finish building it. There's the view of the soccer pitch, and then here's the incomplete entrance to the university. The gym is going to be built in what's currently a farmer's field on the left. You can see some of the construction equipment here already. But actually this time of day, if you look at the mountains in the background, I can see, I mean, I don't know how well the camera picks up any of this stuff, but I can really see the layers and layers of mountains going out in the background much more clearly now. So the sun is setting now. This is after, no, this is after 5 p.m., not yet 6 p.m., about 5:30. And so you can see mountains, Pound Mountains going out in the background. Here's a great propaganda message. A big red banner coming across the street. The propaganda messages do change every few weeks, I'd say. So if I head, so they're peeking through the forest. View of, really that's the countryside. That's not looking towards downtown Mangshi. Downtown Mangshi is sort of in the same direction as the Golden Tower, the Buddhist temple. You may or may not have seen on the horizon there before. With a city like this in general, it's difficult to imagine how much it'll change if you were to come back just 5 years from now. This is really the last hour of Dehong's obscurity. Dehong is a province, and of Mangshi's obscurity as a city. They're building a train line right now that will run all the way from China to India, all the way from Beijing to Kunming, then from Kunming west to India through Myanmar. So that's going to connect us to, of course, immediately Myanmar, Bangladesh, and then keep going west to India. So that's the grand staircase. I don't know if you get a sense of just how big it is here, but I used to run up and down these stairs to get my exercise while teaching class, and you can see it's under construction. So when that's completed, there's currently a sports field. There's a soccer field in there you can't see, but when that's completed, there's going to be a gym on the left, there's going to be a decorative pond, and the river will run under that bridge. There's the river. It's just a trickle at the moment. You can see they got big plans for this bridge. I hope that all this farmland won't be destroyed. It looks gorgeous right now, with the mountains receding into the distance. Not much water in the river this time of year. I really don't know if that's going to change or not. On the scale model, as you saw, they seem to be expecting great things from this river, for it to fill up a couple of different decorative ponds. But I don't know. And here you get a hint at the other Dehong. What surrounds us just outside of Mangshi, the cropland stretching out into the distance, and of course the beautiful mountains. And there you can see those white houses. That's really like a suburban housing detachment. Over there I can clearly see dragon fruit. Reminder that we are in the tropics. Today's a cool day as the sun is setting. I can see dragon fruit, and I can see papaya trees. Not too many, just a stand of about 5 papaya trees. And then all kinds of other crops that I certainly can't identify at this distance. Some plasticulture, stand of trees over there. That's it. And then if it's not completely blinding you, the sun, looking back to the campus. Pardon me, beyond the gate, the grand stairway, leading me back to my place of employ. So there we go. We got a couple of guys walking on the steps just to give us a sense of human scale. And I think the sun is not shining too directly in our eyes. This is my last day on the job, my last day on campus, and as far as I know, I will never return to Dehong. It's very likely I will never return to China. So farewell to a chapter in my life, including the chapter in which I used to run up and down these stairs. So anyway, sorry, so I was just commenting that this is really the last hour of Dehong and Mangshi being an obscure place. Because once that train line is built, it will be connected to the outside world in a way that it never has been before. Currently, to get here by bus is fully 12 hours. I could say 12 hours plus, more than 12 hours. So, if you get on, if you get on the bus at 6 a.m., you are lucky to get here by 6 p.m. I would say 14 hours is a more reasonable 14 hours or 16 hours is a more reasonable estimate. But it's a beautiful bus ride. It goes through the mountains. You want to get on early in the morning so you get the view, going at night. But so still today in 2017, that's the bus ride from Kunming to Mangshi. So it really is a remote place. Even if it doesn't look that remote when you just look at the distances on the map, you have to keep in mind how high the mountains are. What's kept us isolated here, historically, and even still presently. Anyway, yeah, I was commenting before, as we passed this propaganda poster going the other way, that we do get new propaganda every few weeks. For me, most memorably, there was a period of time when all the propaganda was trying to get you to join the army, trying to get you to join the Chinese army. And you know, I could understand, pretty plainly worded, I can understand the propaganda message on most of those posters, and some of them I sat down, you know, with my dictionary and I took a moment to unravel what they were getting at. But it's very difficult for me to imagine any of the students here joining the Chinese army, partly due to the gender balance. This used to be a teacher's college, so where, you know, the majority of students were in training to be school teachers, which is a majority female profession. So you had mostly female students. My own students, the vast majority of them are female. Really, I have 3 or 4 male students in all my classes combined, and hundreds of females. So when I say it's not like it's a 60-40 split, and the women, of course, are not going to be inclined to join the army, especially not if they're qualified school teachers. Yeah. 我做一个视频. Huh? That's one of the professors who knows me. It's actually not that common here. Not that many professors know me and say hi to me on campus. She's one of about 5 or 6. I guess the ones who speak English are especially inclined to want to chat with me. Anyway, she is one of the... She teaches, I think, both English and Burmese. I think she teaches English and another language, that professor. Because our foreign languages department here isn't just European languages like English and French. We also teach adjacent Southeast Asian languages like Burmese, Thai, Cambodian. And we teach the local indigenous languages, Jingpo, which is also known as Kachin, and Dehong. So anyway, that slightly derailed my train of thought. Anyway, I was just commenting that, you know, socioeconomically and in terms of gender balance. So here's a stand of bamboo filling in the view. Over there, oops, so you should be able to see the sports field. As I say, I'm really filming blind. The sun's too bright here. There is a soccer field that you can see over there, and then this way, peeking through the trees and the bamboo, you get a view of the beautiful, beautiful farmers' fields in the distance. And indeed, depending on the season, sometimes they're verdant green, and sometimes, like now, they're a bit more yellow from the sun, drying out the stubble in the fields. Anyway, I remember that there was a big campaign for a couple of months where they had all this new propaganda on campus trying to encourage students to sign up and join the Chinese army. And, you know, it was the whole variety of messages. Messages about bravery, messages about seeing the world, messages about making your parents proud. And, you know, I remember right after that we had a campaign about not dropping out of school. But I wondered if what they were hoping in recruiting was to recruit the students who were thinking about dropping out or actually dropping out. I do especially like this shaded parking lot, but I don't know if I have anything to show you. Yeah, I think there's no view if I take you to the edge of this parking lot. You're just going to see, well, you can see the mountains in the distance. All right, that's worth filming. That's worth filming before I go inside and show you the scale model of what the university as a whole will be. This is a university where the vast majority of students live in residence. And this is the thing I was going to say, whether it's under the heading of, you know, the army recruitment or any other topic here. There, can we see the mountains in the distance? There you go. Maybe, so I don't know if it's better to film here or film in the sunlight. Just look at the horizon carefully. You can see row after row of mountains going off. Today, a little bit hazy. Very bright, but a little bit hazy. Depending on the clarity, how much of the mountains you can see will vary from day by day. But my students do not by any means come just from this local province or this local area. They come from all over China. And so if you think about it, a student who's chosen to come and live here to become a school teacher or to pursue another profession. So I should say this university used to be a normal university, aka a teacher training university, but it's been upgraded now to be a full university for many other subjects as well. It's not just a teacher's college, it's a general university. But if you come here from across China to have this experience and have this education and leave as a qualified school teacher, those students I think will be the least likely to consider signing up to go to the Burmese border to defend the country against the civil war that is indeed ongoing right next door. We're in tremendous peace and security here. These trees are not too tropical. I wonder if that was an intentional choice, not to have palm trees here like we have downtown. Oh, here we go. Here are a few palms. But a lot of these are more temperate trees. Maybe because we're up on the top of a hill and they were concerned about it getting a bit cold in the winter. Don't know. 你好，好，我就做一个视频。Just making a short film to show this model. So one of my colleagues here, another professor, has just walked up. This is new. 这个是新的吧? I think this is a new model. So I didn't know this. So 在未来你们会有一个健身房吧？这个是你们的健身房，但是现在你们没有。So right now I work out at home, but if I come back in a few years, there'll be a gym, and this also I show them. So there's going to be a river going.
See the river.
A river and a lake there, and then also a lake in the back.
It's a pond, not a lake.
Huh. Well, back here, some of my students complained to me. They said when they decided, they said when they decided to come to this university, they expected there to be a lake, and there's no lake.
That is bottom of the water.
Right.
You can still see the fish. You see the fish. Do you see? So many.
So we had a lot of rain a few months ago. I mean, this is now winter, but I guess right after it rained, it was full of water for a little while.
Do you see the fish?
Honestly, no, I don't see the fish.
On this right part, you see the just a small shadow.
Ah, I do now.
So many fish. You know,
so the fish are struggling to survive in our little pond as the pond gets smaller and smaller.
But 2 weeks ago, there's really not of water.
Yeah. Well, remember we had a lot of rain for a few months, but now there's no rain at all.
No, people let it out. I don't know how they did that.
Anyway, a few of my students did complain. They wanted there to be a big lake. So in the future, I think they will move the river, and then there will be more. There'll be more water. Anyway, there you go, and you get a sense of the huge scale of the student housing, because we have students who come here from all over China.
These buildings are already finished.
Yes.
Only that.
Those buildings down there.
That block is,
the buildings on the top of the hill are all finished, and some of these over here, I think this is not finished. Here we have the basketball courts, and some more buildings here. Huh.
Only this one.
As the sun is setting behind me, blocking the view downtown, there is really the center of the campus. So I don't know what the concept was, having a dead tree at the center of the campus. You can see up to the top of the hill, that's the canteen, where the students may or may not choose to eat their lunch. Beautifully manicured roads leading off in all directions to all the other parts of the campus. And those big buildings in the background, beyond our sort of central park here, this little garden park area. All those big buildings in a row are student housing. And if I zoom in, you can see that pretty clearly, because they've all got their laundry hanging out on the porch. And those students, in many ways, their lives here in Mangshi are beautiful. I'm sure it's a contrast to whatever cold and polluted part of China they come from. But here it's warm and tropical, surrounded by tropical trees and tropical fruit, and not polluted and not overpopulated. However, they are sleeping with 6 students to a room in bunk beds, 3 students per bed. So in some ways, as a university student here in Mangshi, life is hard. Alright, there you go. As the sun sets at the end of my long work day, you can see the Golden Temple seemingly glowing in gold. In fact, it's illuminated on the top of that distant hill. The sun sets over the basketball courts. I say my final farewell to Dehong Teacher College.
À-bas-le-ciel.